Spot immediately has nicknamed Raim Kulov Kid Diamond in hopes that people can better remember him that way. He comes in off a string of 5 impressive knockouts in a row and appears to be maturing into a devastating knockout puncher, but it's a tremendous risk for this young unbeaten fighter to be going against a veteran like Casamayor here tonight. Both fights could be tremendously entertaining, and incidentally, as you look at Abdullayev in the main event and Raim Kulov in the preliminary bout, you're looking at 2 fighters who come from a corner of the world that seems to be turning out more and more great fighters, both amateur and professional. That, of course, the far eastern side of the former Soviet Union, where 2 former Soviet republics, Uzbekistan on the left, Kyrgyzstan on the right, have turned out the fighters you'll be seeing tonight, Abdullayev and Raim Kulov. We expect to see more from that region of the world in the years to come. Working with me as always, HBO boxing analyst Larry Merchant. And Larry, last week the 140-pound weight class suffered a seismic shock when the kingpin of the division, Castillo, was smothered and beaten in England by young Ricky Hatton. What does Zhu's loss leave in the way of fallout for the division, particularly as it affects young Miguel Cotto?
First impression, there's more room at the top. The stars, Jones, De La Hoya, Trinidad, now Zhu, are falling fast and hard. Second impression, there's a buzz, a vibe in the air that suddenly people are taking Jermaine Taylor, the young challenger, much more seriously in his fight against the great champion Bernard Hopkins next month. Third impression, for Cotto, he is a candidate as well for that room at the top. But the opponent tonight, Abdullayev, is no stroll on Broadway.
They're both terrific body punchers. It could be a very hard physical fight. But before we see that, we're going to see Joel Casamayor at 135 pounds against Kid Diamond. Almasbek Raim Kulov working with us, of course, our Boxing After Dark expert commentator, the legendary trainer and manager Emmanuel Stewart. Emmanuel, you're the one guy I know in the sport who told me before Hatton-Zhu that Ricky Hatton was going to mug Castillo, thoroughly smother him, and take him out of the fight. That's exactly what happened. Now can young Raim Kulov pull off the same feat against the veteran Casamayor?
It's going to be a little bit more different, Gil. First of all, Casamayor is used to having good punches in there. He's used to moving around, boxing. It's a little different. Diego Corrales, another good puncher. But Castillo is a stationary, stiff, robot-type fighter, and it's easy to get him off his plan. I think Casamayor is going to be a big problem for Kid Diamond tonight. His experience that he's had in the amateurs, and he said he's going to fight more tonight. That makes it be more interesting. And when a guy who's normally fast decides to punch, he sometimes can become a good puncher because he hits the guy much faster than the guy expects, or he can get hurt. But it's going to be explosive, that's for sure.
All right. Raim Kulov is a fascinating personal story. You're about to hear more as the 2 fighters come into the ring. First, let's take a look at the tail of the tape for this 135-pound battle. And you will see that Joel Casamayor, who won the gold medal for Cuba at Barcelona in 1992 as a lightweight, is now 33 years old, 5 years older than Raim Kulov. They're even in height at 5'7". They're even an arm length measured from the armpit to the end of the fist. They weighed in within 1.5 pounds of the 135-pound limit unofficially tonight. Casamayor 4 pounds heavier at 146. Rules of the bout with our unofficial ringside scorer, Harold Letterman.
The Joel Casamayor Kid Diamond fight is scheduled for 12 rounds using the unified rules that you see on your screen. Jim, real quick, the 4 criteria that the judges will use to score each individual round: clean punching, effective aggressiveness, ring generalship, and defense, with a strong emphasis on clean, effective punching. Jim.
All right, Harold, first to enter the ring will be the fighter from Kyrgyzstan, Almasbek Raim Kulov. Top-ranked publicist Lee Samuels 5 fights ago was the one who came up with the nickname Kid Diamond because the first half of Raim Kulov's name offers a pedestal for that approach.
All right, it means rough diamond, and he supposes that his name came from a very wealthy ancestor who died and left a fortune that nobody found, and is presumed to have buried rare gems someplace in his huge country.
Emmanuel Stewart, there are a lot of gym legends in Las Vegas. This guy supposedly broke Floyd Mayweather's rib and has knocked down fighters of bigger names than himself.
Well, gym fighting and real outside fighting is two different things. But if he has did all of that with quality sparring partners, it would be impressive.
All right, Ryan Kuloff in the ring. Here's a closer look with Larry Merchant at Kid Diamond.
Both of his parents are surgeons. They wanted him to be a doctor. He wanted to be a fighter, but to appease them, he did go to college to study what in effect would be pre-law. He speaks 5 languages, his native tongue, Turkish, German, Russian, and English. He also speaks boxing rather well.
So Ryan Kuloff, who began his career mostly as a boxer and has evolved now toward becoming a puncher, gets ready for Casamayor, who in the amateurs was a big puncher, Manny, and in the pros has been more of a technical boxer.
But that's only understandable because usually when those Cuban guys are fighting against younger kids, particularly our kids, they are strong, matured men, 200-300 fights, and they'll fight young kids. But when they turn professional and they'll fight other men that equal them in strength, then they start boxing. So that's what's happened to Casamayor, why he became a boxer as a professional.
But let's keep in mind that he knocked Diego Corrales down 3 times in their 2 fights, which they split. He also fought a split decision with Castillo and is regarded as the 3rd best lightweight in the world.
And here's a closer look at Joel Casamayor with Larry Merchant.
He won that gold medal in '92, the same class with Oscar De La Hoya, Vernon Forrest, Chris Bird, and many others. And there's a famous story about him that when he went back to Havana, he was given $30 in a bicycle. He traded the bicycle for a pig so he could feed his family. That laid the groundwork for his defection just before the '96 Olympics, and he has become the best fighter among the Cuban defectors to the U.S.
Has many family members still in Cuba, yearns to go back, waits for the day. Let's go to ring announcer Michael Buffer for the official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Madison Square Garden, New York City, USA, where tonight Top Rank Incorporated is proud to present an evening of world-class professional boxing for your entertainment. Brought to you in association with Sportsbook.com, the King of Beers, Budweiser, HBO Sports, and Madison Square Garden. All bouts are sanctioned by the New York State Athletic Commission. The 3 judges at ringside for this first contest will be former junior welterweight champion Billy Costello, Luis Rivera, and Tom Schreck. And when the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action, Pete Santiago. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from Madison Square Garden, 12 rounds of boxing in the lightweight division.
Don't wait for nothing. Okay?
Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing red, official weight 134.5 pounds. Professional record, a perfect one. 20 bouts, 20 victories, including 12 knockouts. This 2000 Olympian is originally from Kyrgyzstan, but now trains and fights out of Las Vegas, Nevada. He is Almazbek Rahimlukulov, the fighter known as the undefeated Kid Diamond. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing white, official weight 133.5 pounds. He's an Olympic gold medalist who now has a professional record of 31 victories, including 19 knockouts with only 3 defeats. Originally from Cuba, he now fights for Team Freedom out of Miami, Florida. The former junior lightweight champion of the world, the unbreakable Joel Casamayor.
The boxer, G-second, 1 G-second. Bang, bang, bang. Bang. Okay. I explained the rules to both of you guys in the locker room. I expect a clean fight. Expliqué las instrucciones ya en la esquina en el cuarto de ustedes, ¿ok? Que es una pelea limpia, ¿ok? Y suelta a los dos. Good luck to both of you. Shake hands.
This is a big step up in class for Kid Diamond. He's a 7-5 underdog. It is a sink or swim situation for him. His management wants to see whether he can swim in this level of competition.
Given the gap between his larger public image and background and that of Casamayor, 7-5 isn't exactly long odds. It shows you how much of an item he's already become in Vegas gym circles, referring, of course, to Kid Diamond. He's the one who fights in the conventional stance. Casamayor is a southpaw. In his last several big fights, Casamayor has started too slowly. The lightweight average is an output of about 67 punches per round. In recent big fights against the likes of Castillo and Corrales, Casamayor has started out throwing about half that many punches in the first 5 rounds. Manny, if he's that inactive tonight, he might give Kid Diamond a chance to get off.
I think that's very true. You know, this happens a lot just with age itself. He's a lot slower. He's fighting more at the tempo and the distance, where Kid Diamond is going to be much more effective than compared to where Casamayor used to move a lot more.
Kid Diamond ducks a big left hand by Casamayor. Diamond earlier got in a right hand to the body. Once again, in the red trunks, Almasbek Raimkulov from Kyrgyzstan. His promoters are eager that he becomes known instead as Kid Diamond. They don't think they could sell him as Almasbek Raimkulov, but knockouts sell anybody if he can keep doing it.
Well, it looks like it's going to be a puncher's fight. Much more unusual than I expected for Casamayor.
There's blood in the eyebrow of Raimkulov already.
There's something
Right
happening.
eyebrow.
Kid Diamond is bleeding over his right eye.
And I think it was one of those left-hand punches just like that that did to damage.
And
I think so.
And it was a punch that just barely grazed him, because it certainly didn't make any impact on him.
But now Raimkulov fights with the extra urgency of knowing that there's something in his right eyebrow, and he's staggered by a left hand from Casamayor. Raimkulov grabs and holds on. Tries to get his legs back.
Yeah, but he's not used to, I think, looking for punches back. He's used to everyone running from him all the time. But tonight, when he throws punches, almost every time Casamayor comes right back with a counterpunch.
Raimkulov's American trainer, Don House, has had him for the past 5 fights, said, well, he can take a shot from anybody, but he may want to revise that opinion after seeing how the one left hand wobbled Raimkulov.
Well, it happens often with punchers. They don't look for punches back, and they're used to everyone running from them.
As an amateur, Raimkulov says he was entirely a boxer. And there's a knockdown as he walked right into another left.
I'm not sure of the knockdown, but
Yeah,
it was called a knockdown, but I'm not sure.
It might have been a quick little right hand. We'll see on the replay.
All right, I'm told that replays will show that it was a quick little right hand. So my correction, he walked into a little right rather than a left. The bottom line is, not a good first round for Kid Diamond. And Casamayor smiles at him as he walks away, as if to say, you're in the big leagues now.
Yep, and it's going to be a very entertaining fight.
No. It's nothing.
It wasn't a knockdown, all right? Yeah, I got it fit. All right? Now,
that's his blood. That's his blood. We're okay. You're doing good. Great round. Great round, Cepillo. Move to your right. Move to your right.
Our interpreter is Jerry Olaya in the corner for Casamayor.
Here you see Kid Diamond coming in, not expecting anything back, and got caught with a left hand punch that he didn't even see. Now you see the knockdown here. It was a right hand, partly off balance too, the way the two bodies was twisting every time they got into exchanges.
In his recent fights, Casamayor has been much more willing to stand in there and exchange.
That's a common characteristic of fighters as they get older, and their legs slow down.
Neither fighter was throwing at a rapid pace in the first round. CompuBox numbers found Casamayor 7 out of 24, Diamond 4 out of 29. So they were essentially checking each other out and looking for opportunities, but Casamayor got lucky enough to score a knockdown with that very small right hand.
Break! Home peg. Box.
In the days when the Soviet Union included the republics like the one that Kid Diamond comes from, there were frequent confrontations between those fighters and Cuban fighters in the Olympics.
Yeah, they were considered the two power countries in amateur boxing, primarily the Soviet countries and the Cubans.
Casamayor almost left himself open for a big right uppercut from Rymkulov. And now Rymkulov goes to the body, partially blocked by Casamayor's elbow. So far, Joel has been too tricky, too smart for Rymkulov in the first round and a half.
But there's a noticeable slowing down in Casamayor to me compared to what he used to be. And he's very vulnerable right now to be hit with big power punches. He's not as crisp and sharp with his punches as he used to be in the past.
He's had a cavalcade of trainers in recent years, Emmanuel. Joe Goosen, Buddy McGirt, Roberto Duran, now Jose Bonilla. When a guy changes trainers fight after fight after fight, does he lose his technical continuity?
I think so. It's good to be comfortable with someone, to be continually learning and trying to make adjustments, because every trainer has his own style. That can really cut down on your progress when you're training for a good fight.
And when you're 33, 34 years old, it's different than when you're 23 or 24 and still learning.
Absolutely. Well, he's been setting his weight at about 300 and some amateur fights under one coach, and then to go through 6 professional coaches in this country, that's a lot.
Given the fact that Casamayor had such a good first round, he's done very little in this round.
Maybe he didn't think his first round was all that good.
Well, Kid Diamond is starting to get to him a little bit more, even though he hasn't hurt him, but I see he's getting closer and closer with his power punches.
There's the right hand that Diamond has earned a big rep with. And there's the explosive body punching. And Rymkulov gets excited thinking that he had Casamayor hurt.
He may have had him stunned momentarily.
Casamayor is punching more like an old fighter nowadays.
Well, look for a replay of Costas Now among the features. An interview with recently retired Reggie Miller, a roundtable discussion with a unique mix of characters. Mark Cuban, Phil Simms, and Tom Brokaw. That's all tomorrow, Sunday, June 12, 11:30 p.m. Eastern and Pacific. Costas Now.
We in the fight, baby, all right? I'm a good round for you. Straight up your left. All right? Make it straight up the left. A good round for you. A good water down.
He's up, he throws you. Whatever, just throw it. Throw your hands. Don't let him get all excited about anything. Come on, give me some water. We're doing good, we're doing good.
That bad first round with a cut and a knockdown didn't seem to bother Kid Diamond. He came out strongly in the second round.
And had a big round, landing 12 of 25 power shots, according to CompuBox, as opposed to only 4 of 16 for Casamayor. So the first round belonged to Joel. The second round belonged to Rymkulov. Let's see where the fight goes from here.
But because of the knockdown, he's probably got a 2-point advantage, meaning Casamayor. 1-point advantage by now.
Rymkulov slipped to the canvas. Casamayor sought to take advantage of the opportunity. Before referee Pete Santiago could get across the ring, they were scuffling. And then Santiago said, no, let's get ourselves back in order here. Body shot by Casamayor. Just as in his fights against Corrales and Castillo and Freitas and Daniel Seda recently, Casamayor throwing precious few punches in the first few rounds, and he takes a solid right hand from Rymkulov. That shot gets the crowd's attention, and Ryan Kulov follows up with another. That one partially blocked, but you can see the power on the right hand.
I think Casamayor's got a lot of respect for the power of Kid Diamond at this stage right now. And in fact, he's intimidating him to some degree and controlling the fight, making him move back, and putting him mentally on the defense now.
Early in his professional career, Ryan Kulov had a string of decisions. In fact, he's got 12 knockouts in 20 fights, which isn't necessarily the early record of a big puncher, but it was 5 fights ago when he came to Vegas, entered the gym with Don House. House watched him hit the heavy bag and said, "Why are you a boxer? You should be slowing down and looking to knock people out." Since then, 5 straight knockouts, 3 of them in the first round.
Stop! Stop! No punches.
Straight right hand for Casamayor, who hits once and steps away. Body shot now for Yoel Casamayor. Ryan Kulov continues to work to try to close the distance between himself and Casamayor, or find a way to corner him against the ropes.
Ryan Kulov is mainly dependent on that one big powerful right hand.
And he caught Casamayor on the button with it there.
If he doesn't land the right hand, he's going to be in trouble. He's got to start using his left hand a little bit more to set him up for the right hand, whether he lands it with the left hand or not.
A little stare down there for Ryan Kulov against Casamayor.
Don't worry about it. You're doing good. Do what the corner tells you. All right, come. Champ. Who's the champ? Who's the ring? Who's the king? You are. That's right. And we're teaching him. This is his college. This is his university.
Goes inside.
How you feel?
Yeah,
Inside, right?
Oh, good, eh?
We're all good inside?
Good,
How you feel?
good.
How you feel, huh? You know where you are. It's for the big fight, baby. Let's do this. Jump against right hand. Don't hold that right hand back, all right? Yeah. You got all this downstairs, all right? You got to headhunt him all the time. Keep dropping that bomb on his ass, all right? Yeah. That was a good round for you. I just need you to pick it up.
Seconds out.
Seconds out. Come on, guys.
Well, we told you about the recent slow starts of Joel Casamayor. Here's another one. Through 3 rounds, he's averaging 8 punches landed out of 27 thrown. 27 punches thrown per round. Remember, the lightweight average is 67. Kid Diamond averaging 8 out of 38. With Casamayor going at a slow pace, Diamond is able to do the same thing and look for power punching opportunities. Harold, how do you have it through 3?
Okay, Jim, I got it all even 28-28 in rounds 2-1 for Kid Diamond. You got to give Joel Casamayor an extra point for that first round, just like Emmanuel Stewart said. But in rounds 2 and 3, certainly Kid Diamond, the aggressor, landing the harder shots, putting on the pressure. So 28-28, all even.
Kid Diamond's parents, Almazbek Ryan Kulov's parents, have made the trip here tonight from Kyrgyzstan. This is the first time they will ever have seen their son fight. So in the first round of the first fight they ever saw of his, they got a chance to watch him get bloodied and knocked down. Things have gotten better since then.
Well, he had about 300 amateur fights, so I imagine they've seen him somewhere along the way.
Nope, not according to the promoters. According to the promoters, it's the first time they've seen him fight. Now, logic says, yeah, they should have. But again, Top Rank insists, not before now. They trade punches. Casamayor landing a left after Ryan Kulov got in a right. And still Ryan Kulov, Manny, not using the left enough to set up his right.
No, mainly it's a case of Ryan Kulov trying to land power right hand and Casamayor trying to land his left hand.
But at least Casamayor positing the occasional stiff jab with the right hand.
Yes, he is. He's working the right jab off just enough to make it very interesting.
Ryan Kulov mostly just waving his left and using it as a rangefinder to try to set up big right hands, but he should be throwing stiff jabs. So
far in a close round like this, you know, the big difference could be just those right jabs that Casamayor is landing because they're pretty much even as far as the power punches.
The Diamond is the aggressor.
Stalking, occasionally landing a body shot. And of course, the question becomes, can Casamayor maintain this kind of foot movement into the late rounds if Ryan Kuloff is able to get to the body with increasing frequency? Hard right hand inside by Ryan Kuloff.
Good right hand, very good right hand.
And Casamayor waved the left over Ryan Kuloff's head. So in the last 20 seconds of the round, Kid Diamond put together a rally that might have taken the round for him.
You want to be tapping, you got to pick it up.
Bring it through your mouth.
Right? You got to pick it up.
Bring it through your mouth.
But I need more jabs with my right hands. Keep the left foot outside the right. All right? You got to let that right hand go down the pipe, but you got to set it up with a couple jab in front. You got to close the gap. All right? You're trying to throw too many shots on it.
Get some more water. More water. Put water in the bottle. Castillo, listen. Be intelligent. Move your hands a little bit more.
Here you see Ryan Kuloff throw a shot. He misses and gets caught with a counter punch himself as Casamayor was trying to move out of the way at the same time. And here you just the opposite the next time. Casamayor misses a shot and gets caught with a counter shot himself.
Round 5 of a scheduled 12 between Almasbek Ryan Kuloff and Joel Casamayor on Harold Letterman's card. Casamayor gets the first round 10-8 with the knockdown that took place on questionable contact. Then since then, Ryan Kuloff has won 3 rounds in a row. You get the feeling if Casamayor wants to ensure his opportunity to win the fight, sooner or later he's just going to have to let his hands go and throw more punches.
Because the way it's going right now, Kid Diamond is winning the fight probably slightly just because of being the aggressor, and just the seem like psychological effect is that he's intimidating and he's more comfortable with the fight.
Indeed, he's barely having to fight to win the fight at this moment.
Yes.
Body shot by Casamayor. Hard left hand up top by Ryan Kuloff. Good left hook to the body by Ryan Kuloff. Casamayor lifted his right arm and exposed the ribcage.
Normally, the boxer has the advantage in these kinds of matchups early in the fight. And the brawler or the puncher has to try to slow him down. In this case, we see Kid Diamond hanging in there at least on an even level. So he might have an advantage in the later rounds.
Their heads flirted there as Ryan Kuloff landed a right hand to the body and almost butted with Casamayor.
Come on, let's go.
Many opponents have complained about Casamayor's head, as well as about low blows. He himself sees that as a mark of his own professionalism, saying basically, I'm a professional fighter and I'll do anything to win the fight. That's the way I'm supposed to be.
And right now he's slightly maybe winning this round. You know, he's boxing, staying out of the way. He's seemingly just landing little clean little punches here and there, but he's just working his way through a winning round.
On the other hand, in the last round, Ryan Kuloff was able to rally in the last 20 seconds.
Well, in these type rounds, so no one really lands nothing effective. Anybody can come through and land something at the end. They can win the round with just one blow.
There's a little collision there, and Ryan Kuloff was able to score with a right hand. But now Casamayor backs him off with the jab.
How are you, Pop? Doing good? Give me a towel. Where's the towel? Blow your nose. All right. Don't worry, that's his blood. We're teaching him. We're schooling him. Where we're at. We're doing good. Where we want it. We're in the 6th ring.
Just let it go. Boom, and turn it under. He's bending right down there anyway. He's going to go right down. That's where you got the headbutt. I'm going to here, turn under, then left hook on top. All right? That's what he's doing. He's bending his head down anyway. All right? But set up everything off.
Here you see Casamayor coming underneath punches, using his head, which he does a lot of times, whether it's purposely or not, but he does use it a lot. And that's really typical of his style and expected.
Night falls on Manhattan. Tomorrow morning, the Puerto Rican Day Parade here in Manhattan. Tonight, Puerto Rican star Miguel Cotto in the main event. That'll be coming along later. CompuBox numbers in round 5. Casamayor getting a little busier with 39 punches thrown, his high output. Raimkulov, 11 out of 57. Sometimes the busier fighter gets the benefit of the doubt.
Well, Casamayor's corner is telling him he's taking Kid Diamond to school. I don't know what school it is, but it's not one that I want to see very much of.
It isn't the school of hard knocks, is it?
No.
It's the school of soft knocks. There's a hard knock straight through Casamayor's guard with the right hand. Left hook lands, and Casamayor comes back with 2 solid left hands of his own, including his best punch of the fight.
Casamayor is depending almost solely on mistakes from the younger, more aggressive fighter.
But that's the way he fights. He usually doesn't try to show power punches until someone has missed a punch and is in an off-balance position. That's just typical of his style of fighting.
And typical of virtually all Cuban fighters who tend to box first.
Yes, they still fight a lot like they're fighting a computer game. They're very, very intelligent fighters.
Yeah, but when he fought Diego Corrales, he stood and went with him periodically. He didn't fight this consistent moving boxing game.
In this round, he's been able to pot shot Raimkulov and take advantage of Raimkulov's increasing aggression, as Raimkulov seems to be getting a little impatient and feeling as though he needs to open up more. That gives Casamayor a chance to pinpoint his left hand.
You pretty much, I guess, Casamayor can figure him out now. He's mainly throwing power punches with his right hand, and most of his left hand punches is more like just a probing punch to feel him out before he throws his powerful right.
Although Raimkulov did just land the left hook and now powers a right hand over the top. Interesting fight. Momentum went early to Casamayor in the first round, then swung to Kid Diamond for the next few rounds, and now Casamayor seems to be putting his own imprint back onto the fight. Hard right hand for Raimkulov. Larry, it's quite unusual for Top Rank to put an unbeaten young prospect in against a fighter of Casamayor's experience and stature. What's up?
Well, I think ordinarily they move their fighters very well, but at times boldly. If we can remember, Oscar De La Hoya fought John Molina. I think it was around his 12th fight. But in this case, they're trying to build a case for Diamond, give him a showcase, and hope that he catches fire.
July 13, look for a new HBO Sports documentary titled Mantle. It's an in-depth look at one of America's greatest yet most flawed sports heroes. Mantle, debuting Wednesday, July 13.
You're the teacher. Casamayor is the teacher, and he's in school. He's in school. Don't let him build his confidence. Cepillo, come on. Let go of your hands. Let go of your hands.
Everything all right?
Pretty deep.
Yeah. All right, baby, let's pick this up, baby.
Pick him up, pick him up. Right hand, left hook. Jab, jab, right hand, left hook. Let's go. Give me the ball. Give me the ball.
Casamayor said before the fight that Diamond is strong, but I am Casamayor. The question is, what Casamayor is this?
Harold, how do you have it through 6?
Okay, Jim. You know, I got to tell you something. In round 6, for some reason, I gave it to Joel Casamayor because he had, he landed a couple of nice left hands early in the round. But basically, I think Joel Casamayor is running away, and that's all there is to it. 57-56, 4 rounds to 2. Kid Diamond, he's the aggressor. He's landed the hardest shots. He's making a fight, and I still think it's hard to score for a guy that's running away.
Okay, break. Don't push. Come on.
Harold's score reflecting what Larry established a couple rounds ago. Raim Kulov is the aggressor all the way through. Casamayor hoping to use that aggression against the Kid Diamond.
I agree with Harold, because if you look at just for actually points landed, Casamayor may be landing just as many, but the fact that the general movement is that Casamayor is running away from the fight and Kid Diamond is pushing him and intimidating him. And it's shooting so much power with his punches. And that's what a lot of the judges are looking at. The guy who wants to fight or the guy who's trying to get out of the fight. And in close rounds, they usually go with the guy who wants to fight.
The older fighter trying to get by on his experience and his skills. The younger fighter, hungrier, more relentless. An age-old story in boxing.
Given the difficult fights against Corrales and Castillo and Freitas, do you think that Casamayor ranks as an old 33, Larry?
I don't know, Jim. He hasn't fought this way in a while.
I would say he's an old fighter.
But he's not. He doesn't have the kind of quick crispness he used to have.
And he looked old in the last 20 seconds, taking 3 big right hands from Raim Kulov, who now has reestablished his aggression and his control over Casamayor with that flurry of hard punches. Casamayor stopping Raim Kulov's rhythm there. Kid Diamond looping the right hand over the top this time. Now he gets in close and fires it straight. And Casamayor continues to back away, and this has been an easy round to score in favor of Raim Kulov.
To me, Casamayor is fighting like a guy who doesn't want to get hit.
He's surviving and trying to stay out of the way with a powerful right hand. That's his biggest struggle, to just stand out of the way of the right hand.
Breathe. Come on, this is the 8th. This is the 8th. At the end of the round, he's catching you. Listen, when the round is finishing, when there's 10 seconds, he's throwing a bunch of combinations. Don't let him do that. Listen.
This is round number 8. Let me have these lives, all right?
Yeah.
Double jab right hand. Look, my body shots is all day there, so I'm always shooting his head. You can hit him right in the chest, right here, straight right hand to the chest, and dig to the left hook to the body.
Yeah.
All right? Straight right hand, left hook.
Good job.
Stay there.
Clean that corner, wipe that corner down. Box, wipe that corner down. Okay,
Round 8 of a scheduled 12. Almaspek, Raim Kulov, 5 years younger than Joel Casamayor, and using that advantage of youth to build rhythm in the middle stage of the fight. Casamayor, the straight left hand to the middle of Raim Kulov's chest there. Raim Kulov keeps on coming and cracks with the right hand. Cracks again with the right hand. Misses and lands a big left. Very big left, and Casamayor backing off now. Casamayor grazing Raim Kulov with a left, but now Raim Kulov is just coming forward with impunity, willing to take Casamayor's left hand with a chance to throw his right.
Yeah, it's no respect for Casamayor. Casamayor is trying to fight with him now, but he's in there like shooting BB guns compared with a guy with a .45. But just too much power with Kid Diamond.
Casamayor shaking his head as if to say, you didn't hurt me. Usually that means I'm worried about your power. Low blow by Casamayor, first one of the fight. Pete Santiago saw it and said something about it. Another low blow from Casamayor, this time on the other side of Santiago. And those low blows tell you that Ryan Kulov is winning the fight.
That's right. It looked like Casamayor is doing anything he can to maybe get a break in the action.
You know, it's a little surprising to me the way Casamayor is fighting this fight. There's so much at stake for him. He fought a terrific fight against Castillo in his last fight. A victory here tonight could set up a third fight against Corrales, and yet he seems listless.
I think all of those 300 amateur fights and the professional fights have taken a toll on him. He's still fighting like an old man to me tonight.
And I think he underestimated the opponent.
Well,
I think he did not respect the fact that he's in with a guy who can crack. They trade shots again in the center of the ring, and Ryan Kulov slips. And Santiago correctly rules that it's not a knockdown.
Best exchange of the night. Maybe Casamayor has decided to make a stand.
Yeah, I think his leg was giving out. He's going to have to fight now.
He's taking too much contact. Unless he can knock Ryan Kulov out, he's going to get busted up here. Because Ryan Kulov is starting to land with great frequency and big shots. Casamayor landing flush 3 straight times. Ryan Kulov now believes he can take that punch. Best round of the fight.
You got to do to this guy. You can't box him. You got to rough this motherfucker. You got to rough him up. All right? That's what you got to do. I want you to move your head, though. All right? Stay tight. And just rough him up. All right?
Let him drink a little bit.
This is round number 9. Give me this round. All right? Give me this. How you feel?
Come on, man. This is for Christian. From the bros, Christian. Come on. Take some water. Come on, man. Break him up. Break him up.
But if you notice in the fight here, even though both guys are landing punches pretty equal, there's just so much power, so much strength into the punches landed by Kid Diamond as compared to the ones that lands by Casamayor.
Great sequence, trading shots in the center of the ring.
Go to the corner. Back here. Corner, right there.
Pete Santiago waiting for water to be wiped up in Joel Casamayor's corner. Did they dump it on purpose to give him a rest?
It just looked like ice cubes on top of that, yeah.
Did they dump it on purpose to give him a rest?
I don't know. They may have could have just got all excited over there and just trying to. Sometimes there's just a tendency you get a little sloppy with the water and ice.
Well, Casamayor's trainer Jose Bonilla has said to his fighter, I need these rounds. So with 4 rounds to go, Joel Casamayor has been asked for a rally. Let's see if he's got it.
He can land the punches often because he's got good reflexes still to some degree, but he just doesn't have enough power in those punches.
He threw his high output of the fight in the last round. Casamayor getting 49 punches off in that round. But the result of that is that Ryan Kulov was able to throw 70, because the more Casamayor throws, the more opportunities Kid Diamond has. Kid Diamond right on the button with a left and a right, another right. How long can Casamayor hold up under this?
I'm surprised that he's been able to take some of the punches he has and hold up. But he hasn't been hit completely clean yet. He still has a will.
Well, I think it's clear that Kid Diamond is not a big puncher. He's a strong puncher. He's persistent. He keeps coming at you. But Casamayor has withstood some pretty big punches.
I agree with you, Larry. He's not a real accurate puncher, but he's a very strong puncher. And I think physically he's a very strong guy, too, for the weight division.
One thing to think about as the late rounds move along, Ryan Kulov has never been past the 10th round, so 11 and 12 will be new territory for him. Right now he's trying to build the lead by landing harder punches and continuing to do so.
And that last right hand moves Casamayor.
And Casamayor responded by putting his head right onto Ryan Kulov's chin.
I was very impressed with Casamayor. Took the best punch of the fight, I thought, and did not flinch. Came right back behind that.
All right, watch your head, okay? Colliding in with the head, both of you guys, okay?
Ryan Kulov is beginning to get the impression that Casamayor wants to butt him. And that's what he keeps talking to Santiago about. That's important for Ryan Kulov not to get distracted by all that. And Casamayor steps in and beats him to the punch. Beats him to the punch again. Again, they trade in the center of the ring. And again, Ryan Kulov is willing to take what Casamayor can throw in return for the chance to throw back.
A little bit better, boy. I need you to pick it up. I still need you to rough him up. He's coming in with his head first. That's why you got to turn them. You got to turn that right hand under, but you got to come off the jab. Don't give me one jab back. Double that jab right hand. Double the jab, baby. You got to double the jab. All right. You're only giving me one jab at a time. Double jab right.
Come on, be intelligent, but loosen up your hands. Come on, we can't be behind. Breathe. Come on, breathe. Listen, now it's...
Here you see Ryan Kulov land a right hand right on the side of the head, and Casamayor comes right back behind it. I'm convinced that he's got a pretty good chin now, but I don't know if he's going to hold up as the fight goes on.
Hour punches through 9. Kid Diamond, 76 out of 221. Joel Casamayor, 55 out of 173. Edge to Almasbek Ryan Kulov. How do you have it through 9, Harold?
Okay, Jim. 87, 83, 7 rounds to 2. Kid Diamond. You know, Jim, even if they landed the same amount of punches, which they are, Kid Diamond has landed so much harder. He's flat-footed, landed a real hard power shots. I mean, all I see is Joel Casamayor sticking out mostly right jabs, a few left hands which don't seem to be doing much damage. So Diamond doing the harder punching, 87-83, Kid Diamond.
Casamayor senses the urgency of a fight right now. You can see it in his eyes, you can see it in his stance. He knows that he has to go to work.
Yep, he's trying to place more pressure now on Ryan Kulov.
His punches are not as quick, is not as accurate, not as sharp as they used to be, but he's trying the best he can for a man his age right now.
He spent most of his recent career trying to come from behind in big fights down the stretch.
And he's making a good attempt right here. And he's being the aggressor right now.
So the momentum of the fight changes slightly now, as for the first time, Joel Casamayor goes forward and puts Ryan Kulov in the position of going backward and looking to counter. Ryan Kulov takes a shot with the right hand. Lands a right and a left, and another left. Casamayor pushing those punches, not really a lot of snap on them.
No, he's not the puncher that Kid Diamond, but the idea Kid Diamond is probably not used to anyone challenging him like this. This is a total reversal. And for him to be going back is probably something he's not prepared to do. And if Casamayor can keep doing this, and he's proven that he can take the best punches from him, it could be very interesting to see what happens these last 2 rounds.
But Ryan Kulov is still landing some solid shots. Straight right hand, couple left hooks. Lands another right hand there as Casamayor buries his own right hand into the ribcage of Ryan Kulov.
But regardless of who wins this round, I'm very impressed with Casamayor. This was to me a round for him, whether he wins it on the scorecard or not.
He might win it on the scorecard by having gone forward for the whole round.
Yes.
Okay, break. Break, step back, guys. Time.
Well, a minute from now, for the first time in his career, Kid Diamond will go to the 11th round. Casamayor's been there many times.
Two more. This is for the championships. This is championships. This is where the men and the boys are separated. 11 and 12. These are the championship rounds. Come on, Castillo.
Cuando tú se la montas, tú vas adelante, dominamos. Hay que ganar todos los rounds, papá. Por Cristian, por Chungo, por toda la familia, papi.
You got to finish back in the right position. If you're not in the right position, you're going to get tagged. All right? Right hand, left hook. Finish the combination off. All right? Everything cool inside.
Yeah.
You got to pick it up, baby. You got to pick it up. All right? The body shots are good, but you got to give me more. You got to let them hands go, baby. You're a lightweight. You're a lightweight, baby. You're a lightweight, baby.
Okay. Box.
CompuBox numbers in round 10. Casamayor's high output of the fight, 53 punches. He landed 13 out of 53. Kid Diamond, on the other hand, 12 out of 63. Harold Letterman gave the round to Casamayor, but still trails by 3, so he needs at least a knockdown or a point deduction to forge a draw, in addition to winning the last 2 rounds. Kulov takes a straight left and then manages to land a right hand against Casamayor.
Casamayor's got him backing up now, and it's something he's not prepared to do. And in addition to that, it seems like he's just taking the total mental control over him, because he's taking the best punches from Kulov, and nothing has seemed to have hurt him.
Right.
Is it too late with too little?
It could be, Larry, but nothing surprised me in this fight still. It's very interesting the way that he's just putting this pressure on this kid right now. And he may not be a big puncher, but I don't know if the guy can take this type of a pressure coming back at him.
Okay, break. Step back, guys. Okay, break.
Body shots by Kid Diamond, 1 with the right, 2 with the left. One of the better jabs Kulov has thrown all night.
Surprising me. And he's boxing this round.
Yeah, why doesn't he do it more often?
And doing a pretty good job, too.
His trainer, Don House, says, hey, he's a pretty good boxer. I just want him to use his punching power. But it's always good to have something to fall back on if you haven't knocked the guy out.
Hey, the guy's got to move out of there, okay? Got to move out of there.
Pete Santiago asking the photographers to move and provide some extra room. The clock is still running, incidentally.
Maybe the best punch of the fight for Casamayor.
Box.
Twisted Kulov's head around.
The photographers haven't moved an inch.
Okay, break. No tire, no tire.
Casamayor leaning on Kulov there to blunt his attack. Kulov lands another good jab. And a straight right hand,
yes,
which Casamayor takes without flinching. They're fighting on even terms now, and it's becoming a pretty good fight. So let's have a few more rounds. Let's play 2.
Finishing with that left hook. You should have been doing it all night. Look, now you finish that shot with that left hook. But you got to let this is last round, baby. This is do or die. This is the one we want right here. But you got to finish the combination off with the left hook. That puts you back in position. Then you can see what's going on.
Bring your hands up. Bring your hands up and let them go. Castillo, we got to win this one. We've got to win this one. Breathe. Be intelligent. Be intelligent with your hands up and throw your hands. All of them.
I think we up a little bit.
Last round, baby.
Last round. We up a little bit. But you got to make a statement, baby. All right? It's HBO, baby. You got to make a statement.
Throw him the last 10 seconds. You've got to finish strong. Finish strong.
Here you see Casamayor land a straight left hand, I think right at the same time that Jim Coloff's feet got caught right there.
That's right. His right foot is caught in the ring strap, which was dangerous.
And he took a clean shot on the chin, too, and still came back.
Casamayor called himself the Zero Beater. Says that he has beaten 7 unbeaten fighters.
This would make 8.
This would make 8. Will it make 8?
Well, you heard which corner was more confident. I mean, clearly Ryan Kulov's corner thinks he's winning the fight, although Don House said, this is HBO, you got to make a statement. Casamayor's corner saying, we need this round desperately, we've got to have it. That's an intelligent perspective over there.
Yeah, I think Casamayor's corner realized that they're losing the fight.
Oh, sometimes it's a question of what kind of fight the judges like. Are there judges out there looking for the clever boxer, the fighter with the big reputation? Will they give Kid Diamond all the credit that we think he's earned?
Well, I think the good news for Kid Diamond is that 2 of the 3 judges, Luis Rivera and Billy Castillo, are former fighters. And fighters, I think, are more likely to appreciate the guy who fought aggressively all the way through as opposed to the boxer.
But in the last 2 rounds before this year, Casamayor became the aggressor. Even though I thought Kid Diamond may have won the last round because he outboxed him surprisingly.
Well, so the question becomes, as Larry said, was it too little too late for Joel Casamayor?
Without a knockout, it looks like it's going to be too little too late. But
135-pound weight class, like the 140-pound weight class, fairly heavily populated. Castillo and Corrales just had a fantastic fight for the premier position in the division. Juan Diaz has a title, and the winner of this fight will move forward potentially toward a meeting with Diaz. Ryan Kulov lost his balance again, but managed to stay up.
Yeah, and if he had one down, that would have made it interesting on the scorecard because he would have had 2 rounds that he'd been knocked down, which should have been 2-point
left
rounds.
hand lands for Casamayor.
A great effort by Casamayor.
Hard left hand for Ryan Kulov. What a beard Casamayor has shown. Ryan Kulov landing another left hook. 2 big body shots for Kid Diamond. Casamayor with a straight right hand. Hard left. Blood coming out of Ryan Kulov's nose. Tremendous action in the last minute of the fight. They trade punches again, and Ryan Kulov knocks him back with a left hook. Now Casamayor knocks Kid Diamond back with a straight left and lands another one flush. 12th round has half the crowd on his feet. Casamayor staggered by right hand.
And hanging on.
Staggered by right hand.
But still he comes forward.
They both finished the fight.
Kid Diamond may not be a polished diamond, but he is a rough diamond.
And that's what his name is. His name doesn't mean polished diamond, it means rough diamond. He lived up.
Even a rough diamond can sparkle.
Three judges are Billy Castillo, Luis Rivera, both of them former professional fighters, and Tom Schreck. Harold Letterman winds up giving both of the last 2 rounds to Kid Diamond, Almasbek Ryan Kulov, and that gives Ryan Kulov a 5-point margin on the Letterman card. Emmanuel.
Tremendous right hand right on the chin, full force, everything into it. I'm surprised that he was able to take that punch and hold on. It doesn't get much better than that when it comes to right hand hitting the southpaw.
And the look of a winner, Almasbek Ryan Kulov believes that he beat Joel Casamayor and has made his imprint in the upper reaches of the 135-pound weight class. Now, if he fights Juan Diaz, that could be a wildly entertaining fight.
Yes, it would be. There's no other way.
I mean, that is an all-offense fight. Here are the bios of the judges I was talking about. Billy Costello, 49 years old, New York. Had 116-10 for Terry Norris the night that Norris embarrassed Ray Leonard here in Madison Square Garden. Luis Rivera, longtime good judge here. 114, 113 for Bird over McCline, and you can call that 1 point the difference in the fight. And Tom Schreck, who back on December 13 scored John Ruiz over Andrew Galata, 114-111 in a fight in which Ruiz won 9 of the last 10 rounds on Schreck's card. Let's go to ring announcer Michael Buffer and find out who has won the fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the scorecards. Bill Costello scores the contest 116-111 for Kid Diamond. Tom Schreck scores it 115-112 for Casamayor. And Luis Rivera scores the contest 114-114, a three-way split. This bout is a draw.
CompuBox numbers in a fight which winds up being scored a draw. They landed about the same number of punches, though Ryan Kuloff threw 178 more, 178 more, I should say, and therefore landed at a lower percentage, but was landing the harder punches by our lights. Harder punches, power punches. Casamayor, 86 out of 263. Overwhelmingly, the majority of those in the latter half of the fight. Ryan Kuloff, 106 out of 325, pretty evenly distributed throughout the fight. One judge gives 7 of the 12 rounds to Casamayor, along with the point for the knockdown in the first round, and that one is a little bit hard to figure out. Another judge sees it even, and the third judge scores it the way we did in favor of Kid Diamond. Emmanuel Stewart, the benefit of the doubt, it seems to me there, went to Casamayor.
Definitely, I think so, but it depends on what a judge is looking for. If you're looking for just points, and some judges do look for points, and a lot of guys look for the power punches. You know, I can see this fight being a draw compared to some I've saw in the past. Even though I thought Casamayor had lost the fight, I could see it being a draw.
Which one do you want to see again?
I would love to see the fight again. Let them start from the 12th round on.
All right. Larry, what does the draw do to the two fighters' careers?
Well, I think Diamond showed that he belongs in the upper echelons. I think that he's an action fighter who will get opportunities. I think that a young, hungry fighter beat quicker, slicker, and older tonight and just didn't get the decision.
All right. We'll look forward to seeing what happens next, particularly in the continued development of the Kyrgyzstani fighter, Kid Diamond. Meanwhile, still to come tonight, main event between Miguel Cotto and Muhammad Abdullayev, the man who beat him at the Sydney Olympics. Right now, let's look ahead to some upcoming boxing shows.